Uganda, a nation once torn apart by war and dictatorship, found a new leader in 1986, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. After years of conflict, a young revolutionary promised democracy, peace, and economic growth. But did he keep his promise? Museveni led the National Resistance Army, NRA, in a fierce guerrilla war against Uganda's troubled governments. By 1986, he had taken control, bringing an end to years of instability. The people hoped for a fresh start, and HIV/AIDS rates began to decline. But as Uganda prospered, cracks began to show. With Museveni in power, Uganda saw an era of growth and security. Roads were built, schools improved, and healthcare expanded. His government launched free primary education, and HIV/AIDS rates began to decline. But as Uganda prospered, cracks began to show. The leader who had promised democracy started changing the rules.
Somebody asked me, which club do you support? Can you imagine?
Museveni spoke of democracy, but his actions told a different story. In 2005, he removed presidential term limits. In 2017, he abolished the age limit, allowing him to run indefinitely. Opposition voices were silenced. Leaders like Robert Kyagulanyi, known as Bobby Wine, were arrested, beaten, and blocked from political rallies.
Environment Ronald Chibule of entering the chambers with a gun. What followed was a fist fight.
Uganda was changing, and not everyone was happy.
Ugandan security forces detained protesters in downtown.
As Uganda's economy grew, so did corruption. Reports of embezzled funds, missing government resources, and bribery spread across the nation. The people demanded answers, but those who spoke out faced harsh consequences.
NTV Uganda also showed a small group of young.
To understand Museveni's rule, we must look at Uganda's past. Idi Amin Dada, who ruled from 1971 to 1979, led with fear and violence. His government killed thousands, expelled entire communities, and left Uganda in economic ruin. Museveni's rule has been different, less brutal, more stable. But like Amin, he has used military power to hold on to control. The question remains, how will his leadership end? After nearly 4 decades in power, Museveni remains Uganda's leader. His supporters praise his contributions, while critics warn of a growing dictatorship. Will Uganda see a peaceful transition of power, or will history repeat itself? The future of this nation hangs in the balance. This is the story of Yoweri Museveni, a leader who shaped Uganda, but whose legacy remains uncertain. The world watches, waiting to see what comes next.
Uganda is so rich, as you can see. Even a fool can survive here. You don't have to be very clever to survive.